Hello. Good morning.
Shema.
Hey, welcome back to the Inner Power Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew.
And what Rudman.
How are we doing? I hope you've had we all had a lovely Blue Monday yesterday.
Everybody's so happy.
Yeah, no, it's good. I see the moon last night.
I did.
Yeah, the wolfy moon.
Yes.
Which oh no, I can't do that stupid joke again.
But did you check the meaning of it?
Yeah, it meant can you just help me there? Because it's just me. Otherwise,
well, that would
I
actually
don't get to see you on Instagram. We are live on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook,
and YouTube.
And I hope for your listeners. So it's also on the podcast. Yeah, if you're listening on podcast, happy days. Don't forget to leave 5-star reviews. Today we are talking about, I know we just started another conversation, how our thoughts and words create our outcomes.
Yes.
There
or
we go.
reality.
Mm.
So.
And stay tuned. We're going to do, we're a bit busy this morning.
We are very busy this morning. Yeah. So we decided to change the pattern of how we run things in the house. And today, right at the end, we're going to pull you some cards. And for those who are watching, you can choose the deck because we have 3. So we have Starseed.
Starseed. Put over here as well. There you go.
Of course.
Starseed.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Starseed.
So you can get to choose the deck you would like. We'll remind you again later.
Angel answers.
Angel answers.
I have to use both hands for it, right?
It's good. It's nice when it's mirrored. You can't read it.
Yes. And native spirits.
Native spirits.
And native spirits here too.
Okay, there you go. So obviously watching a rerun, just have to hope that people are watching it on the live. Happy days. So how our thoughts and words can change our outcome. This is weird because we meet we meet before we go live, and we both had we'd say, well, what are we going to talk about today? We look at you blankly. I hope the other one's going to come up with an idea.
And then we realized we already put some ideas in our notes. We share notes, obviously, everything, anything what pops into our mind, what is worth talking about. We just make note of it.
I wasn't bothered about the price of Lidl at the moment.
No.
Didn't need to put that.
No.
But thanks anyway. I made that up just for a bit of entertainment. A bit of entertainment.
So that's a pattern interrupt. Pattern,
yeah, it was a pattern interrupt. Yeah.
So anyway, let's go back to what we were talking about.
Yeah, let's go back.
So we have we share notes, and funny enough, the notes that Matt made and the notes I made were
completely different. I'm really disrupted today.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, no.
It must be Tuesday.
Yeah, all day today. Yeah. No, they were quite similar. So we were talking about words and how what we say out loud, even to ourselves, but more but even out loud.
Yeah.
What we say internally and what we can say out loud.
It has a massive impact on what is happening in our life. And sometimes we don't make a correlation between our thoughts and the outcome in the reality, but there is a connection. And by learning about it, we can influence the outcome.
Yeah.
And as we were talking earlier before we decided to come on live, we spoke about the words we use when we communicate with someone also dictates the outcome.
Yeah.
So, for example, you can change your words and you can change someone's responses to what you're saying as well, which, in turn, just actually makes the outcome different. Simply by just changing, a few sentences. So obviously, you can't plan it 100% because what you say and what you mean is not necessarily received that way. Because people having their own perception and obviously different emotional state will impact how they take you, how they get you. But you can definitely intentionally make it more, pleasant, friendly.
Yeah, but you know what? I started off with it was Blue Monday yesterday, joked about it.
Yeah.
But I actually seen quite a lot of nice posts yesterday. Just came up on my news feed on that book face. And
book face.
Where people I think we've just had enough of negative stuff all the time.
I think everybody's oversaturated with that.
Yeah, definitely. And it just, I don't know if my mum posted something. I know one of my friends, but the sun was coming up. It was real nice. Someone took a photo there. Lovely day. Not Blue Monday at all. So it was like, we're trying to reprogram all this. Because why has it got to be Blue Monday? Just because the media told us it to be that or whatever? Yeah, okay, it's the first whatever. Anyway, let's not go into
But this is actually quite
Oh,
interesting.
here we go.
Hi, John.
Hi, John. Thank you. So pop that up on there. This is quite meaningful. So thank you, John. So internal dialogue is all powerful. Developing self-awareness is the first and I think the hardest step. Once you're aware of what's happening, you can start to manage it. Oh, I totally agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, 100%. And that and I think the word, that's where it comes back to. The words, what we say, are so important. But John's right. As soon as you got to be aware of it, I guess. And once you're aware of it, it's easier to then. And actually, what I notice is that when I say, because it just comes out sometimes, then I can correct it. And if you've got a good peer group, I know sometimes we've been chatting and one of us might say something. Oh no, we'll say it this way. It doesn't get annoying. No, but do you know what I mean? I think it is really, really important.
Sorry, I'm still catching up.
Yeah.
No, I do know. I know exactly what you mean. Well, going back to John's comment, you know, just hold on. I'm just gonna internal dialogue. I'm gonna show it again.
Yeah.
The first sentence, it's very powerful in itself, because internal dialogue that we are practicing also determine whether we take action or not.
Yeah.
If you keep saying to yourself that, oh, this is a stupid idea, you know, who you think you know to do it, etc., even though you might be coming up with the great idea, you will never take action on it, right?
Yeah.
And so you're not gonna get the results you want. You will just, you know, practice the feeling of doubt in yourself. So the internal dialogue, what is going on, what is happening in the privacy of your own mind, is the most powerful thing.
Yeah.
And obviously, whatever you think, whatever you practice in your head, you will see the results of it in your reality, in your real life.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. You know, that
thank you.
Great.
I think a good task you can do, actually, I think I did this last year. We had to write down like everything that unempowered us. You know, like all the things that I'm not good at this or I can't, whatever it was. Anything you felt that was holding you back, that, you know, was blocking you, holding you back, or whatever it was. We wrote this list down, and it's a real good task to do. Take maybe 20, 30 minutes. Sit yourself down. It's great if you work in a team. You can all do it together, and then go back through it and then change those words around. So you have to kind of switch it, basically, to like, well, how can I combat this to make it more empowering? And it's really powerful to do, because then you're taking accountability for yourself, and you're looking at, because we all got it. And I think it's a good way of exercising that chimp as well. So this morning I woke up early and I was stressing about whatever and did whatever I had to do to get that out of my system. And then I think I said to you, then I was like annoyed. And then now I'm annoyed. Okay, so how now can I sort this out? You know, how can I, and some things I can't sort out at the moment, but I'm a bit more clear of like how to do it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think that's it was a real powerful task that we did it like on mastermind sessions that we had. But literally, just like I said, just writing down the things that, you know, maybe, you know, hold us back a little bit, and then going back to it. And then what he had is, you had to make 2 columns, right? So it was like a list of one either side, rip it down the middle afterwards, and then take the one with the negative or the unempowering stuff, rip it up, and then just chuck it out in your hair. It's gone. And it was good. But I think it's one of them things you can't just do it once. It's same with everything. And all this stuff that me and you talk about, I'm forever. It's like going to the gym. If you don't work it goes, right.
100%.
It deteriorates. So it's one of the things you know, I think to, you know, remind ourselves of, you know, constantly, no matter how you're feeling, if you're feeling up, down, whatever, in the middle, then I think this stuff is so important and so powerful to keep it trained. And I know when there's times when I've just fallen off it, and it doesn't serve me too good. But see, you know, if that's happened, it's okay. You can still get yourself back up on there. So
yeah, that's
Hey Jess.
Hi Jess. 100% true. You know, as you said, you have to train it like as if you were going to the gym, because in reality, every habit we have, every recurring thought we have is something what been practiced over and over and
Yeah.
over. So if you have a habit that you want to change, i.e., you don't believe in yourself, or you keep using the same sentences that are limiting to you, you can do the exercise by changing the wording, but you have to practice the new form to engrave it in your subconscious mind, so you can start playing on just on automatic pilot, right?
Yeah.
And that requires effort at first, right? You made that effort when you created the previous thought, right? And I think the very empowering moment is when you realize that you can actually change the pattern. You can change the thought you're playing from your subconscious mind. And when you know that, then you are not so faced by making the effort to become more automatic, right? So this is very powerful,
Yeah, definitely.
very powerful thing.
Definitely. Yeah, thank you, Jess. Nice to see you. I hope you had a nice birthday.
Happy
Was it last week?
birthday.
Yeah, I think it was last week. I seen something anyway. So, and going back, so with the words, I think they do affect our thoughts a lot. So, the title is how our thoughts and words create our outcomes. Maybe the words should have been the other way around, but we're saying
No.
words in our head. Hey, I'm gonna disagree.
All right, yes. Oh, yeah, this is how we do it.
Kung Fu versus karate.
Karate. And then kickboxing.
Yeah.
And then Tai Chi.
Yeah.
And then Thai boxing.
Yeah.
And Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I'm a Jedi, so I
anyway.
didn't want to like brag about it.
Yeah.
But you won. Congratulations.
All right. Well, Star Wars in the house. Anyway. So going back to what you said, I do believe there is a thought before words.
Yeah.
Right? Because you think about something before you say it. You can't say something.
Oh, I say words in my head.
Oh, but that's a thought, right? Unless they're on the loudspeaker. No, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
right?
I know what you're saying.
So you have a thought.
I agree.
You have a thought, and then you have the words.
Yeah.
You might either say them or you might not say them, but obviously they're coming from your mind, so you think about them first, right? There was quite an interesting exercise. I'm just going to mention this quickly. I was listening to Rhonda Byrne, and she said, you cannot act without having thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that's quite interesting. So she said, try not to think and do something. You can't.
No, you can't, because
You can't. So obviously, this is just proves that your thoughts can create words, can create actions, but thoughts itself can create actions as well, because you don't have to, just verbalize it out loud. So everything starts in your head, right? This is the key point for everyone to understand, that this is the creative power you have and you can have control over, right?
Yeah.
So whether you're using words or you're just using hands, it starts in your head, okay? The seed is right there, right? And this is just the result, whether it's words and then response or the action and the response. I just wanted to mention that because I think it's quite important.
Thoughts lead to feelings.
Yeah, they create emotions. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely, they do. Feelings lead to action. It's a bit like Yoda, what Yoda said.
There we go, Star Wars again.
Fear leads to hate. That's quite a negative one. I used to quite like, fear leads to hate leads to anger, suffering. But let's look at it differently. So if we keep the positive, kind of goes back to last week again. But if our thoughts are, generally, if we're controlling the words that we're saying out loud and to ourselves, and catching ourselves when we think a little bit, but it does take training, takes some conditioning. But again, I got to reiterate, I think sometimes it is important just to offload the garbage in your head. So like for me personally, everyone's different, but for me personally, so I need to exercise my chimp a little bit, get it all out, and then I'm all right. Then now, let's work on a solution. What I found myself saying to myself after, this morning, looking at what I need to look at was, no, I'm going to sort this out. I got this. I'm going to sort this out. Not burying my head in the sand by saying, oh, it will work itself out. It will work itself out, but one thing at a time. But I'll sort this out. I'll find a way. And I feel that That's more empowering than, oh my God, what am I going to do? The sky's falling. I'm going to die. I'm not. It's not an illness. Just business.
So dramatic.
Business
Star
stuff.
Wars. Today is a Tuesday. Star Wars. Star Wars Tuesday.
So yeah, once I've exercised that out, I find that very empowering anyway. But of course, generally, so I think words I used to would have probably still say them, to be fair, is maybe, someday, one day. No, I think. So it's just, I think it's having a bit more clarity in how we say stuff and not being afraid to say it out loud, not being afraid to set a big goal. I don't care. I know I've talked about it before, but the things I want to do, I know I'm setting real big goals now. And they are going to be a challenge to complete. But I don't care if I don't get them. I do and I don't. As in, if I don't hit it when I say I'm going to hit it, so what? But I know I'll be a little bit closer to it.
Okay, so I know we spoke about it earlier, but I'm just gonna ask you again, just for those who are listening. When you create big plans for yourself, do you actually speak out loud about it and tell people about it? Do you like this accountability, so to speak?
Yeah, but not to everybody, but I will speak out about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's say for the property, I quite openly say, well, I want this. And even if someone's like, all right, switch off, they go into fuzzy mode.
Well, that's
unless it depends. Obviously, there's people might have done whatever that goal is, but I still have to be aware that there may be negativity around certain things because it's around us all the time. So I have to switch that off a little bit.
And that works.
It's quite broad. Yeah.
This is it. The thing is,
I zone out. Real zone out.
There is no such thing like one size fits all, and I think we can apply that to everything. For me, what I've learned over the years is like the more I keep my mouth shut, the better for me, because I tend to burn myself out with talking about my ideas. Then I have no energy for taking actions. So if I'm working on something that is very important for me, I keep it amongst me, myself, and I. Till it's developed to a point that I don't care what anyone else thinks.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of things that I'm working on, which I'm really excited about, and
time travel.
Time travel, and I just keep my mouth shut because I know that talking about it does not work for me.
Yeah, but that's what it comes down to. Find what works for you, right? That's why there's a yin and the yang.
There we go. So we are actually showing you two different ways, two different approaches that works perfectly. And I found that my approach that I've been practicing for some time gives me better results. And it also keeps me calmer because I don't have this feeling of guilt inside. I said I would do this and I didn't. You know what I mean?
Do you know what? I just think for me, I kind of like it when so if I get a bit of a negative, or what you're doing that for, that don't make sense, or whatever, I can't think specific comments, I'll zone it out, but I also like it. There's a part of me that likes to be told, you're probably not going to be able to do that. It's not going to work out too good for you.
Okay.
I'm sick and twisted in the head.
It's like, you don't like it.
Yeah, but you know what? I think it's something that's just a bit deep rooted. Maybe it's from, I don't know, maybe not doing great at school. I don't know. Well, I want to prove that wrong.
Okay. So I can see that you're finding extra energy, extra power to perceive your goals.
Yeah, it's just turning a bit of a negative into something else. But what I used to do would probably consume a lot of time. So but getting into a conversation about it and trying to justify it to someone that isn't going to get it in the first place. So that's why I'm a little bit more selective about who I say about it. Obviously, if I'm doing something, I just there's things that I put in place to make put the importance on it. So like say when I was with the business buying, I knew if I didn't sign up to that mastermind, I didn't know, but I felt that would help drive it forward. If that makes sense. We've gone off right on a different tangent here.
Yeah, that's your fault as usual. There's someone to blame.
I agree. See what I'm doing today? I'm agreeing with a lot.
Well, because you are what? You're a Jedi, you're a, Yoda, everything else today. So that's why we have a split personality, split, just thought pattern. Hence, this is the outcome, right?
Yeah.
So
Completely different off air.
but I think everything just starts, just with the thought, So obviously, I suppose this is down to your self-awareness and knowing how
definitely.
you operate.
Yeah,
Everything starts here, right?
Yeah.
So you know what works for you, and you've been practicing, just that more and more through the natural selection, right?
Yeah.
And now you're talking about it, so I think it's kind of relating to what we are talking about. Because
do you know what? Even talking about it,
Yeah.
like doing the podcast with you, just doing the podcast, just going out if I was teaching in class, talking about it online, whatever. It's as much for me than it is. I love helping people. Don't get me wrong, and hope people get some from this. But it's as much for me as anything else, because by me saying it all out loud, what's that saying? Teach once, learn twice. So I'm constant. So I'm working my thoughts by actually saying it. So doing this, what we do here regularly every Tuesday, it has such a big impact on me, because I have to think, and it's reprogramming me. I'm just doing the same for you.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So
that's a great exercise.
Yeah. Oh my God, we agreed on something. That's amazing. But it is, isn't it? It's I have to think about it, and then often, let's say if you're talking, you'll say something, and I'm like thinking, oh yeah, that's good, I like that, and even be by something I might say, and then I think, well, am I doing that? Am I congruent? So it's really good for my self-awareness. So saying things out loud for me is a good thing, but not necessarily, talking about goals maybe a bit differently, but it just gives me that different perspective. So my thoughts become, the words I say become empowering, and then what I think about at the time as we're going or afterwards, they become my feelings as well.
And do you know, it's actually good that you mentioned that, because as I'm thinking about therapy and coaching, when you're working with someone, why sometimes the therapy works so well for people is because many people who are coming to therapy, I'm not saying everybody, but many people who do that, they, by verbalizing things out loud, they can hear their words different. So the turmoil they're actually trying to work out in their head becomes much clearer as they speak it out. So then they have an easier way to figuring out what to do next, right?
Yeah.
It's easier for them to deal with it. It's just sometimes I think like our head is like a tumble dryer. Everything's just and when you say it, you just think, oh, it's not that bad. You know what I mean?
So that's exercising your chin.
Yeah.
That part of your brain, that the ego kicks in.
That would explain why I talk so much to myself.
Yeah. But that's good. But even if you don't have to talk it to someone, it could, if you've got someone that you can trust, you can talk out stuff, that's great. But they're literally just going to sit there and listen. But generally, if I've done that, by the end of whatever, like how you just said it, is, well, this is silly. Now I've said it out loud.
And you probably heard also those stories when it actually happens every single day. You have someone who have really bad day. They will go to a pub for a pint and they will start talking to a random person. They will offload and they are kind of, healed.
Yeah, free. The other person's like, oh, this happens every day.
And they feel much better because they didn't talk to someone who they have a relationship with in any sense. So they don't feel guilty in any way. It's just like they offload it and they feel much better, right?
Yeah.
So it's like everybody does it in many different ways, right? But it's familiar to every single human being, right? And very powerful.
So have we got, obviously we said, for those that maybe just be tuning in, we suggested getting a piece of paper, blank piece of paper, put a line right down the middle, write down the wrong side, anything that holds you back. Write down any phrases you say, I don't feel this, or I'm not good at whatever it is, it's your words. So write these down and then go back for it, take some time and change it around so you're feeling more empowered. So you say, I don't feel confident in this situation. You could put, I have the courage to take a step forward to be more confident in the future, or I understand that, you know, confidence has got to grow. Something that's empowering anyway. And then tear it down the line, cut it down the line, rip up the things that hold you back, throw them up into the air. So that's one.
I suggest, for example, you know, just the growing your awareness to the words you speak, because everything will comes after I. For example, I am, I don't know, not worthy, or whatever you practice after I is a belief that you've been practicing for some time, and it could be positive. And if it is, you know, just keep practicing it. If it's not positive, just remember that every belief, every habit you have is something, what we call practice thought, over and over and over. Everything starts in your head. So if you say to yourself that you're not worthy, you know, and the use your technique, you said, you know, just changing the connotation from the negative to positive, tearing the piece of paper with the negative one away and sticking to the positive ones. It's a great exercise to practice, but you have to remember, like I mentioned just a second ago, it's a habit which requires you to practice it for some time, so it becomes your second nature. Then you don't have to think about it, it just becomes you, or you become it, right? So that's number two. Number three,
well, just pretty much the same thing. I don't know, like, if you could have empowering words, you could maybe have a phrase of the week. You know, get your list, put them on your fridge, and because it's a lot, you can say them over, you know, read out your list of empowering ones, or empowerment words or whatever, in the morning. But you got to make it the habit to actually say them, or have, like, this is gonna be my phrase of the week. To put out social media if you want. It's one way of doing it, and just see what happens. But it's not for you to get anything back. It's just that you're putting it out and you're just saying it. I think also really is, you know, because social media is a big part of our lives, and it clearly is if you're watching or listening to this, because that's the only way you're going to get this content. So controlling maybe that newsfeed a little bit of, you know, what's coming in. You don't have to unfriend people, you can unfollow them if you want. So if it's a bit too much and I found myself back to comment on something, I thought, no, well, I'm going to stop myself. I'm going to get drawn into something that's just completely pointless. And if that's how they see the world, that's how they see the world. Just being a bit, I think it's being more mindful. I literally just remember something. You probably had a similar thing when you like teaching martial arts, that I used to sort of like with the children that would come in. So very unconfident, being bullied. We have kids that, you know, selective mutism, and it's so, because sometimes people, I can't do this, you know, it's an empowering word. I wouldn't be able to. We start thinking it or saying it, and before we've got anywhere, we've what I say to you earlier, you were talking about something. Jess is my instructor's niece, so it's nice to have Jess on. She worked with me for a little bit. She was awesome. So Jess, you might remember what Stephen used to say. If you started waffling on, he said, you're just telling me a story. Or you're telling yourself a story, and we tell ourselves stories of why, but I wouldn't be able to do this because if I did that, then I won't be able to do this, and then I need time, and then before we know it,
this is our conversation,
and just talked herself out of doing a podcast on her own, which would be massively empowering for her. And I know she doesn't like to say it out loud, but you know, I'm going to say it for her. I'm so looking forward to Angie's new podcast that she will be creating this year and helping women.
Yes, definitely dedicated to.
Oh, nothing like being put on the spot live on air.
So this is.
I'm gonna have to run out this building later.
What our friendship is about. He's just like catching me with my
But
bullshit.
you let me know, right? You put in the comments. Should Ange do a podcast for empowering women? And the answer you want to put is yes in the comments right now. And that you can't wait. And when's it out? Can I be a guest? If you're a female, obviously.
Brilliant. It's done now.
I'm going to be a guest on it. Ange won't know about it. I will be coming in drag.
I have a few weeks in the wardrobe, you know, that will do the trick.
I'm excited. Anyway, I don't even know. So yeah, we tell ourselves a story. That was the point I was going to get to.
Yeah.
So I used to build up a combo with the kids, and you know what? Yeah, it's martial arts, whatever. I was more interested in their personal development and, you know, improving their mindset, because I knew the power of doing martial arts. You know, is great for self-discipline, good school grades, improving getting, sorting out emotions, attitudes. So that was great. But when it was backed up with other stuff, so I wouldn't do this couldn't do this every week because they just get bored. But kids love this. So build up their combo. Right now, I'm the best. Got it. Just shout, and not as an ego. Do the talk. So it's not about you being better than anyone else's, but it's for you to feel like, you know what, I am the best. I can do this, and I got this. And oh my god, the energy in the room. I'm the best. Do it. And then they do whatever they're going to do with it, and just little things that we work now. So it's when they go through certain stances, we've named them confidence, self-belief. So they're saying that out loud. So confidence, sir, or confidence, miss, self-belief, miss, discipline, and it gives them a chance then something to talk about. But like I said, what I found is then the quietest kid is suddenly, they have an opportunity to be as loud as they like, and it's a choice. It is a choice. They don't have to be loud. So yeah, I remember it was a young lad that came in, and his dad said he's probably not going to talk. Right, my head. This could give me shouting. I'm gonna have him up at the front of the class. Did it? Mission accomplished. Yeah. So it is in that, and it's in us to make a change. If if we're feeling disempowered or feeling a bit, then it's there. But we got to decide we're going to do it. But it is there, and it can, and it's just a little bit of rewiring. It's understanding that we do have this thing in our head that is going to hold us back. You can't. Don't fight against it. Learn to live with it, and learn to understand it, and then learn to exercise it, and get however that works for you. And it could be through actually doing exercise. It could be through talking it out, and changing those words. And understand we also got a rational part of our head, like what you said, Anne. Just once we've spoken it out, maybe we feel, well, that's easy. That sounds a bit much now, but you can, and the more you do it, the more you condition yourself to find, well, now this is what I'm going to do. So now that sounds a bit whatever. What can I focus on right now? Well, I'll do this. Keep yourself listening to mindset, personal development, working all the time, and then you'll be reprogramming that computer part of our head, or the wired system. And some things are hardwired, but you know what? You could still move a hard wire and put it into a new slot.
You can.
Right? Some things will take time, but we have the most sophisticated computer that we carry within our bodies. There's so much we don't understand about the brain, but it can be. It's just programming, but we're always being programmed.
And it can work for us.
Yeah.
So I think it's great that what you've mentioned, you are actually planting a seed in Lara's kids' heads. Just making them realize that the words you're obviously changing their vocabulary, the internal vocabulary they keep saying to themselves, and you make them practice that just at school. So then it becomes the internal part of themselves.
Yeah.
So then they have a choice whether they want to feel this or this, and they can tell how they feel by saying the words, whether this is this or this. So obviously they're making a correlation with it, and how empowering it is by practicing what you're teaching them, right?
Definitely.
So that's definitely great. I would say as a point number 4 is don't make a chore out of it. Don't make it like a life or death kind of thing. Have fun with it, because when you're making changes, especially when you've been practicing something for so long, it's gonna keep coming up. And instead of getting frustrated, just laugh. I found that works for me a lot. It's like, oh, here we go again. Just I said that, that doesn't help. So I make a joke out of it, and because I'm much easier about it, it's so much easier for me to make a positive change. I used to be completely opposite. I was so judgmental towards myself, and let's say I decided to do something, and I was so focused and so rigid about it that if I slipped out, I was extremely angry, and that was as if I was taking 2 steps backwards on the process.
Yeah.
So I've learned, just over the last few years, that the easier I am about it, the faster the change is occurring. Okay, so be easy about it. That's number 4, I would say.
Cool.
So,
all right. I just thought about these cards, and maybe it's the last point, really. So obviously, with the Inner Power podcast, we cover mindset, cover spirituality, and we also appreciate maybe spirituality type stuff is not always going to be for everyone. However, something like having things like this, because it's like reading a mindset book, or like these cards, even if it's not to look for answers, I don't believe in that, but you will find in there's a lot of empowering things.
And also, this is point of focus. Do you know what I mean by that? So by drawing a card, when you're trying to make a sense of it, or for example, you read the description of this card, you're sorry, I didn't mean to say that word. You're focusing.
No one,
nobody
until you
it.
highlighted it.
You are focusing on the positive message that is on the card.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And when you focus on something for as long as 17 seconds, your emotional state is changing. So imagine that you read the message and then you ponder about it for a little bit. So emotional, state is.
It's positive stuff that's going in your head.
It is positive,
yeah.
and it doesn't matter, whether you believe in that a lot or not, if you're making much of it or not. Very well, it's like when you see something positive that makes you smile. This is a positive thing that can make you smile, okay? Or it can help you to look forward to whatever is happening. Definitely. Or is going to happen, okay?
So I think most of the live is on Instagram. So should we do our card?
Right. So we're gonna say card. You have a choice. All right. You're watching it, so it's down to you now. So this is deck number 1, Starseed. Deck number 1, Starseed. Beautiful deck. This is deck number 2, Angel Answers. Angel Answers. And deck number 3, Native Spirits. And please tell me 1, 2, or 3. Which one would you like?
1 is Starseed, 2 is Angel Answers, or 3 Native Spirit. If you don't add, we'll pick one.
Because we're good.
Do it quick. Because I don't know how quick the thing goes quick. Don't make any sense.
So let us know.
All right. So this is we'll just shuffle. We'll pull out a card. It'll have different meaning to everybody. We'll read the description out. Oh, Ange will, because I haven't got my glasses. No, I might.
I'll just give you mine.
Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm going to pick one. Well, Ange, you pick one. What you got? I know what I see you going for at the moment.
Okay, we don't have an answer.
That's okay.
Or do we have an answer?
No, not yet. No. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Right. It's fine. We're embarrassed. We're shy.
I'm not offended. Right. 1, 2, or 3.
So what we're talking about today is about how can we feel more empowered? Yeah. So that's basically what we're going to be seeing what comes up on from there. So. So I'm drawn to Angel Answers on how we can feel more empowered personally, but also the Starseed Oracle. Ta-da.
Do you want 2? We can do 2. Right. Okay.
What was you drawn to?
Actually, what went through my mind was like, we're gonna pour. Yes.
I can't see it.
Yes.
Oh yes. Sorry.
So this is response to my thoughts, right?
Response. Yeah.
This is how I read my cards, by the way. I thought we can pull 1 card from each deck.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
All right, I'll get these ones out ready then. Okay. Oh, no, I'll get the answer thing ready and then. So what can you do? So you could do this every morning or evening or afternoon.
Or anytime.
Or both.
Really. Yeah.
Another good book I had used to read was Tony Robbins' Giant Steps, and it was a page a day. So, if you feel like it takes 2 minutes of your life, that's really good for helping. Well, everything's good like that. Hey, there you go.
There it is. I like.
We're just having a podcast on.
Okay.
There you go.
So
how to empower yourself. Ask for help from others. Hello.
And how accurate is that? All right. So if you don't know how to change your thought pattern, and if there is something really bothering you, and you don't realize what sort of words you're using, how often you speak words that are limiting you. Sometimes by asking someone who knows this stuff will help you to realize this and find a solution and then change the way you think or what you practice. Yeah, and the card itself from the book says...
By the way, these cards, they're called Angel Answers, and they're by Doreen Virtue and Bradley Valentine.
Yes.
All right. So, yeah. So what it says, it's not necessary to do everything on your own. Your angels are asking you to reach out to those around you for assistance. By allowing others to lend a hand, you gently increase your chances for success and your plans will begin to move forward. The help you receive may also include important information provided by knowledgeable individuals. The stress of doing too much can create both physical and emotional health challenges for you. Surround yourself with loving friends and family who are willing and able to lighten your load, and you'll begin to feel much better. I'll just literally what we've been saying all the last 40 minutes, basically.
Just
there you
perfect.
go.
And tell me how
we could have saved a lot of time just pulling that card, read it out, and then hey.
So this is amazing. And
All
how accurate is that? So you can see how it actually works.
If that's resonate with you, by the way, let us know. Just drop it in the
Well, if it
comments.
doesn't, just
No, don't worry. Next one might.
Okay,
so how can we improve our communication?
Your glasses work really well.
They do, yeah. When I hold it about 6 miles away from me,
so I can see it. Okay. So now we are using the Starseed Oracle
by Rebecca Campbell
and Danielle Noel.
No.
Oh, hold on, that's 3.
3.
So let's
nearly have my eye out with that as well.
Yeah, it was just like over there. Whoa.
The courageous peony. How do you say it?
Yes.
Multi. Oh, I can't. Right,
it's a very, very, very confusing word. Multi-faced, unique nature. Let yourself be seen.
There you go.
So maybe as I translate this, as my first thought about this card, obviously because we haven't read the description of it yet, it's like when you say "let yourself be seen," it's just like just express your thoughts, speak them out loud. Don't be shy. Everybody goes through a lot in their head, and sometimes by being open and true and honest and vulnerable is the way forward.
Well, so I'm just reading this, and I'm listening to you, but I just read the first few things. It totally resonates with what we've been talking about in a way. Yeah.
So okay.
Yeah. So read it out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ange. Yeah. Flowers don't open and close. So this is about like how can we better communicate, right? Well, what we say. Flowers don't open and close according to who walks by. They embrace all of what they are and show it to the world around them. The peony, never mind, doesn't try to compete with the cherry blossom, and the cherry blossom doesn't try to compete with the tulip.
Everybody's different.
Yeah, exactly. They own what they are and trust the timing of their true nature. You are being called to do the same and start your new podcast. It's time to open yourself up to being seen on your new podcast, Ange. Time to share your incredible, multifaceted true nature with the world around you through Ange's new podcast to uncover and reveal your soul's greatest gifts without wavering. You know what I'm going to say, right? To own your uniqueness, uniqueness without apology. There's a flower on this planet that holds the same qualities that your soul is readying itself to express. Let it inform you. You may have been taught that it's safer to keep your light hidden and your voice small, to hide behind the bushes instead of growing tall. The courageous peony is here to remind you that it's safe to embody all of who you truly are. It's safe to share your voice and let yourself be seen. At first, it may feel uncomfortable and you may be afraid of what others think. But with each passing day, it does become easier. Little by little, you realize that it draws in those who are meant for you and experiences you've been longing for arrive at your feet. Been longing for arrive at your feet. How are you being called to allow yourself to be more visible and seen in the world? Ta-da!
So I can see, like I said, your connection
I'm
with
just gonna
what
beat me when we finish this.
With the cards.
It's gonna beat me to death with my own shoe.
So I can see when I can hear a connection to what we were talking about today, and obviously to what you just shared with the world.
That's the first time I've shared something in the world, something you told me in confidence. But it was worth it.
So yes, so there we go. Just you read the cards, and there is a personal message. So I can see the first deck was very much about what we were talking about. This one was combination of both. I'm very, very curious what the third. I know what I was going to say. gonna do? Maybe that's gonna be a message for you.
It might be.
Might
They've all
be.
been messages for me anyway.
Yeah, I think
It's
just
all about
everybody
me.
will
It's the Matt
find.
show. What are you
Everybody.
talking about?
Oh, maybe not. Oh, so we're gonna have. There we go. It's your white buffalo.
Oh yeah. Buffalo, sucker.
Oh,
Good today.
already that quick? Trickster.
Ooh.
All right. Mine is a trickster, right?
Loki.
You read it. That
Trying
was
to
a
find
quick
it.
card.
It was a quick one.
T. Under T. T. So I
T
already
for
know what this
three.
card means, and I'll tell you. It resonates. Beautiful picture, by the way. Mhm.
There it
There we
is.
go. There we go.
Trickster card me. What's in there though? Wolf. That's funny. It was Wolf Moon
Yeah.
last night.
I think it's a fox. You need the glasses.
So
It's a
it's
fox.
a wolf.
It's a fox.
It's a wolf dressed as a fox because it's Trickster.
Okay, right. Okay. I can accept that. All right.
Things are not as they seem. Some things that seem bad may in fact be good and vice versa. Yes, definitely resonates with me. There you go. That's it. We're done. Don't take everything at face value. Look beneath the surface. This card encourages you to try to find humor. There you go. Or gentle amusement in seemingly difficult situations. It also encourages you to have irrepressible fun. Step out of the mold. Or clean it up if you've got a lot of mold. No, I don't think it makes that. See, humor, entertainment.
Makes it
I mean, all
easier.
week.
Makes it life
All right.
easier.
Your native spirit wants you to know in indigenous traditions, there is the concept of the tricksters. In Native American traditions, the tricksters often depicted as a wily coyote. It's a wily coyote.
All right. So
Yeah,
in between,
yeah,
a
he's-
combination of both.
He's trying to paint on the side of a cliff, a tunnel, so that Roadrunner runs into it. But Roadrunner can run through it. Roadrunner can run through it, and he just breaks his teeth on that.
Oh.
Wily coyote. There we go. In native is wily coyote, but sometimes a trickster is a human called Heyaka.
Hiyaka.
There is light-hearted, fun aspect of the trickster, but there's also the caution to tread carefully because things are not always as they seem. Be discerning. What appears to be a good opportunity may in fact not be good. The wonderful aspect of this card choosing you is that it offers the opportunity to step out of outmoded ways perceiving yourself. Now, I said about the Wolf Moon, but isn't that what that was about? It's like letting go of some old energy and making way for new, pretty much.
And did you also mention the wolf moon?
Yeah, I think I just said that.
I just did that on purpose.
Literally, yeah, it is. Okay.
Apologies, there's a witch coming out.
The tricks allows you to see yourself in an entirely new way and asks you to step out of old routines and habits that might keep you might be keeping you stagnant. Yeah. So actually yesterday, so I don't know, it's a bit personal really, but just had to kind of just do that a little bit. It's good. It's good. There you go. Look within. Journey. It might sound very strange, but the easiest way to activate the energy of this card is to howl like a coyote.
I did that a few times actually, but there was no one around.
If you can, it's even better to do it during the light of the full moon. This breaks up the stagnant energies and brings in fresh vitality. There you go. Happy days.
So it's not.
All
I'm not
connected.
saying just you have to go and howl. I
can if you
consider
want.
myself one of those weird people who try everything, and it's just actually amusing when I will tell you what I learned by doing those things.
Sorry, I got into it. No, I want to interact. Go on, sorry, Anne.
I'm learning the distance to myself by doing those things, but I'm usually doing it on my own.
Me, you don't like it.
What? Oh, I disappeared. What have you done? You moved the camera with the power of your thought.
Everyone went
So you were going to break the pattern with?
Yeah, about howling.
Oh, you were going to howl.
No, I wasn't going to howl, but good time to do it is if there's a big queue at the supermarket.
Oh. That would draw attention, I'm telling you that.
No.
So,
No, in all seriousness, I think it's a good time to reflect at the moment.
mhm.
It's always a good time to reflect. So we talked about what we talked about so far this year since we've come back. We talked about how resolutions don't work. What was the negative? Oh my God, whatever we did talk
The
about last
toxic
week.
positivity,
Yeah,
right? I
so-
mean, like, don't start.
we're
me
not
on
going
that
back to
again,
it.
you know,
No.
don't-
But I'm being
no.
more, we're at the beginning, and maybe if you've got big goals or you have set resolutions, it's a good time to reflect now anyway. Put yourself back on track with it.
And
Let go of some old stuff.
And remember, it's a process. So
Yeah.
it's you're not gonna do 180 within a day, right?
No.
And just rather than beating up on yourself for taking slow, just have fun with it.
Yeah.
Be easy about it, because then you're actually gonna speed up the positive outcome. And yeah,
There we go.
there we go.
The trickster is about to say good night.
Uh-huh.
Or good afternoon. Thank you, everyone. We will be back next. Oh, we got an interview next week, haven't we?
We do.
Yeah,
we
who's
have
that?
amazing. We have amazing mindset coach, Eileen McCotter Davies, and she's gonna be having this discussion with us about mindset, about ego. Oh, you might learn
nice
things
one.
about ego you never knew, and how to work with it to actually become your own mindset ninja. So
I like it already.
Stay tuned. It's gonna be amazing. She is so much fun, and she's got so much to offer, and she's got so much knowledge and wisdom in her that I can't describe it in few
And
words.
she's got a retreat coming up as well. Is that right?
Yes, she has.
So you might be able to find out about the special retreat.
I
And
mean,
you're
she's
teaching-
already.
you doing something there?
Yes. It's already almost fully booked. So
Hey,
there
you
might
go.
be last space, for someone, but you're gonna find out about it
That's it.
next week, because this is very great opportunity for you to actually work on your inner self.
Exactly. All right.
So,
Thank you. Drop a comment. Don't forget to share, and especially if you've got something from that. And if you're listening on the podcast, like a nice, lovely 5-star review and a comment, share that as well, because that's really helpful. So there
we
we
would
go.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Ciao. Adios.
Ciao.